Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm a fashion designer and Miss Virginia Senior America 2003. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Fashion Notes. Every day I cruise the globe to look what's new so I can report to you. Paris had a haute couture in the end of January, and now in February in New York is a fashion week. The designers are really extravagant, and also they are spending so much money on extravagant party and lavish everything. So some of them, of course, are struggling to keep their labels alive. They are showing so much chiffon, thousands of beads, sequins, and jewels. And this is probably very popular with Middle Eastern women who can get away with all the glitz. Dior, with their logo and media exposure, has a big effect on sales on perfume, bags, accessories, and other paraphernalia with the famous logo. La Croix show was a display of color, texture, and cut, extremely ornate and tailoring gowns, beautiful and delicious colors. Galliano, with his Napoleonic extravaganza, had a breathtaking dresses with fantastic tailoring. Chanel had no short supply of customers. The fantastic tweed suits with the wide brim hats that open Karl Lagerfeld show. They're most chic to wear to Ascot, you know, the horse races. So we can start a new tradition perhaps in Charlestown, West Virginia. Also, the Chanel shows some Baroque colors and patterns. The decorated Coco Chanel apartment in the Rue Cambon in Paris. From New York collection, colors were mostly black, ink, charcoal, or combination of fur, fabric, or even patent leather. Ralph Lauren, he demonstrated the best of tailored pieces. He opened the show with a slim skirt, vest, and turtlenecks with most luxurious fabrics like cashmere, silk, luxe, slim, long. So skirts are very long and narrow, and sometimes belted skirts. Designer himself looked interesting with a tailored suit with the big shoulders. Maybe he's giving us a clue of what will come next. Donna Karan showed her new collection in the West Village in the studio of her late husband. She was obsessed with pleats. There were blouses, jackets, skirts, and just about pleats were everywhere. And evening dresses were kind of fussy. They were with elastic, with crisscross covered pom-poms, even some with the chains. Hot jewelry trends for the red carpet and for the street. Chandelier earrings again. They were showing in the Oscars. Cuffed bracelets at the Grammys. Looks like they're going to stay here. You don't have to be famous to get the latest look. It can be on any budget. These elegant jewels can brighten up your next dinner party, or you can go a night on town. Experiment with the length and colors. Vintage brooches are the latest way to turn last year's jacket or boring dress to something new and fresh. So you can dress the old things. On a final note and bit of advice, you can look like $1 million cash without breaking the bank. Of course, all of the celebrities have personal assistants and shoppers and advisors, so they look the best. If you shop of the season, you will get major discount and you will be stocked up for the next year. Watch your fabrics, because dry cleaning adds up. Check discount stores for basic. Spend your money on beautiful shoes and great bag. You will look very polished. This is just a sample of my suggestion, and I am sure you have your own strategy to look and feel good. happy hunting, and have fun shopping. Now I have it to present you special guest, Miss Elizabeth Style. She is the director of the gallery, which is a nonprofit gallery, and it's in Annandale. So she brought lots of goodies so she can show what our artists are making. I told you before, we have so many interesting and talented people in Washington, but nobody believed that they all think you have to go to Los Angeles, New York, even to Europe to find it. But they're in our backyard, and I think we should appreciate that. Don't you believe the same thing, Ms. Stiles?
Definitely.
Thank you very much for coming. This is really a very big treat for us and for our viewers to show what our neighbors do, our artists. And I'm sure you can, show us some beautiful thing that you brought. This is just a little sample that she brought today. And of course, there are some more things that she couldn't bring the whole gallery, of course. So tell us about the gallery. How did it started, and how many artists do you have? How does this whole thing work? So our viewers can be more familiar and perhaps visit and buy all this beautiful stuff that you brought today.
Okay. Well, Artisans United Gallery goes back to 1988. At that time, a group of people and guilds got together to form Artisans United. Originally, it was a union of craft guilds in the whole metropolitan area. And if you'll excuse me reading from a list, I would hate to forget somebody.
Oh, of course, that's a good thing,
But
not to forget anybody.
I'll mention the 15 guilds that make up Artisans, and some of the names may be familiar to you. Capital Area Woodturners, Northern Virginia Carvers, Northern Virginia Handcrafters Guild, Quilters Unlimited, Knitting Artists of Northern Virginia, Crocheters and Knitters of the Capital Area, the Waterford Weavers, the Potomac Craftsmen, National Capital Area Glass Guild, the Clay Connection, G Street Doll Club, High Country Basketry Guild, Polymer Clay Guild, Mason, Dixon Porcelain Artists, and Northern Virginia Porcelain Artists. And you can see why it was impossible for me to memorize all 15.
Absolutely. I think that's a good idea what you did.
Guilds. Now we also allow individual independent artists to join us. And we jury members of the guilds into the craft gallery. The craft gallery.
Do the artists themselves are jurors, or you have all different people to do jury?
We have a committee made up of members from each guild,
Okay.
and members of the guilds and independent people can be juried. It's a co-op gallery. We all work the gallery 12 hours in a 3-month period.
What are the hours for the gallery?
The gallery is open from 9 to 5, 6 days a week.
Okay.
During the holiday season, we open on Sundays. And
tell us, this is the galleries in the park, actually.
right, we joke that we are the best kept secret in Annandale.
It looks like you are kind of hidden there.
Right, it's a lovely spot hidden in the woods. And when you give somebody the address, they never find us.
That's true. I had a difficulty to find it.
Right. You have to enter Annandale Community Park. And once you enter the park, you turn to the right, and there is a building called the Packard Center. You end up in the parking lot. And when you walk, that building is devoted to nonprofit groups in the arts. The Virginia Symphony used to be there, the Virginia Youth Philharmonic, the Fairfax Council of the Arts. And as soon as you enter that building in the foyer is Artisans Gallery. We tend to have...
And also same time when the people come there to visit the gallery, they can go down to the nature walks all around, which is very
walk
important.
Through the park. And many of you may have heard of the Nature Center. It is part of the park system. And when you go to the Nature Center, you park in front of the gallery, essentially, and walk to the Nature Center.
You cannot miss it.
You can't. There's no way that you can miss it. That's for certain. We have anywhere between 40 and 45 artists at a time.
Oh, this
with
is a good group.
this is such a transitional area that there's a constant
course,
turnover of
turnover,
artists. But I would like to show you the kinds of things
Do
that
you
we have at the
advertise anywhere? So how people know really about the gallery? Or this is
unfortunately,
a word of mouth mostly?
it's pretty much word of mouth. Advertising is so expensive,
Yeah, I know.
and we're on a tight budget,
Of course.
and I'm sure you realize the
Yes,
cost of
all this,
advertising. So we hope that once people find us, they spread the word, and
That's right.
it grows. Let me just show you a few of the things that we have.
It's a beautiful bowl.
This is Tom Bowley, who is with the wood turners, and he has a number of wood items, not just bowls. He has pins, he has clocks, some really beautiful things.
Is this made from one piece of wood?
It's made, the wood turners take one piece of wood,
the
they
wood.
work it on a lathe.
It's beautiful.
It's quite a process
the
to
grain
make
of
it.
the wood is so beautiful.
And they're very careful when they make something
Oh, it's so
to
pretty.
actually turn it to really bring out the grain.
Yes, the grain, it looks magnificent.
And we have a fabric maker who happens to be an independent member.
It's like a quilting.
It's a quilted purse. She does absolutely beautiful quilted work. She does silk ribbon embroidery in addition. We have 2 silk painters in the gallery.
Oh, this is hand painted
Hand
silk.
painted. This originally was it's chenille, but it was pure white chenille.
Oh, really?
And then the way it is painted, and it's very hard to describe, but it is a wax system where she covers areas at a time with wax and dips. It's not painted with a paintbrush.
Oh, well, I witnessed this when I was in France in Lyon, how they hand paint with the brush, you know, the silk. And that was very interesting to see. And also they're making scarves and selling in their own gallery there at the Silk Museum.
And this is actually done, they call it wax resist, but
It's
this
a different
other piece.
technique, but it's interesting technique.
Now this is
Man's
another
tie.
piece, and this is a man's tie done by Sharon Saffron, who is with the Potomac Craftsmen.
Oh, so this is this different person.
This person actually does paint on the silk, whereas the other one is a wax resist design on the silk. We have a lovely photographer who.
Oh, you have a photography also.
We have photography.
Oh, I thought that was a painting, but this is
No,
photography.
this is photography, and this particular one is done by Dom Bizier, and he takes these at the Aquatic Gardens and sells his paintings in addition at the and he has absolutely
The colors
beautiful
are
pictures.
magnificent.
And
you know, the
and they're
purple and
natural.
yellow, it's so lovely.
It seems like it's so beautiful. It should be a painting.
I
But
thought
those are
it
the
was a
actual
painting.
flowers.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
And I
Oh,
do
look at this
wearable
doll.
art and dolls. I didn't bring my wearable art, but this is just an old-fashioned
Oh,
doll
it's beautiful.
with lots of lace and pinafores,
Uh-huh.
which is one of the items that I make.
Oh, you made that.
That's
Wow.
mine.
Oh, this is absolutely beautiful.
And I usually
I
do
like the
wearable art, but I'd still do the simple country dolls.
I think this is really not simple. There's so many details. I think it's very even difficult to make for the smaller, smaller
It is.
pieces in miniature, so it's more difficult.
And
is
this is one of
stunning.
our basket
Uh-huh.
people. This is Virginia Jenkins of the Northern Virginia Handcrafters
What
Guild.
kind of do they skin the wood? How do they?
This
make?
is, they buy the reed.
Oh, they do.
And matter of fact, if you ever come on a Saturday, the group meets on Saturdays, many Saturdays, and
So
you'll see
people can
people
watch
doing
how they're
baskets.
doing.
Right. And I should mention that we encourage people who sit the gallery to be doing their craft. So
That's right.
most people, if you come into the gallery, you're going to get impromptu craft demonstrations from the people sitting the gallery.
Do they come in different shapes?
Yes, and in her baskets, all different types of shapes. And it's very interesting because they have to soak the reed and then work it through. And this is sort of a basic type of basket.
You have ceramics and glass.
Yes, oh, we have everything.
I can see.
Now, you had mentioned jewelry.
Yes,
and
jewelry, of course.
Jewelry for this year's fashion, we have some lovely
Yes.
pieces of jewelry. We have everything from simple jewelry to very elaborate items.
Oh, those are earrings? No, this is a pin.
This is a
pin.
brooch, and it's stained glass, done by Jean Lee of the Capital Area Stained Glass Guild. It does very, very elaborate stained glass pieces.
Are the glass or semi-precious stones?
No, these are beads and glass.
Glass. And what about the bracelet?
This bracelet is done by Roz Williams, and these are semi-precious stones.
Semi-precious stone.
And lovely wire work. She makes very large.
Silver, of course, is it?
It's silver, and she makes very large, very imaginative
They are very
pieces.
much in right now, tell her.
Oh, yes.
People should look, you know.
This
is silver.
This
also.
is made by one of our silversmiths, and it is a much simpler piece than that, or simpler in design, because we have something for every taste.
Taste, of course.
Not everyone would have that bracelet, not everyone would
Absolutely.
have this bracelet, so we have quite a variety. I didn't realize when I picked these up how similar they are, but they're actually two different artists have made these necklaces.
They're very pretty.
And
colorful.
Very colorful, and we have some lovely designers of jewelry.
Do they make their own beads, or they just put together by the beads?
Most of these that I have here were not making their own beads, but simply designing
something.
But we do have others that actually make their own beads.
You have some doll here,
yes,
I noticed.
This is Elizabeth Sheed. She's with the G Street Doll Club and makes the most amazing, imaginative, whimsical dolls. Obviously, these are not dolls for children.
Yeah.
And they're
completely
collectibles.
They're collectibles.
They're completely jointed, and they're one of a kind and extremely unusual.
Yes, they are.
And stained glass.
Stained glass. So what do you have in stained glass? Just the decorative pieces, or they have like a window, or?
Most of these are pieces that we have now
hang it in the window.
that you would hang. Again, our artists come and go. We have had artists who have done fused glass plates. We have artists who have done the Tiffany type lampshades. At the moment, we only have one stained glass person who is doing, I guess I had that backwards, I was looking at it, has primarily doing the wall items. This little piece, it's sort of hard to see what it is. It's a little notebook. This is Sylvie Kostruski, and she does paper mache.
Wonderful.
All types of unusual items which are hard to see in paper mache.
As you can see, really, this is absolutely variety of different things, and I really love every piece. So there is really something for everyone, for every taste, and knitters and
the Waterford
crafters.
weavers.
And I would like very much, to thank you for coming and showing all these beautiful things so our viewers can see and visit your gallery. Just tell us the address so they can come and visit.
Okay. It is technically 4022 Hummer Road, and we are 2 blocks north of Little River Turnpike. However, it's better to know turn into Annandale Community Park and follow the signs that say gallery.
Now you know how to find. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. Thank you. Now, I have special privilege. I have 2 beautiful ladies visiting us in the studio, and you'll learn lots of things about the fashion group. First, the lady on my left is Marta Fini. She is the director of the fashion group of the area. And next to her is another beautiful lady. She's an import from Colombia, not Maryland, but South America. Her name is Karin Cadena. And so we are going to talk about interesting things about the fashion group. Welcome, ladies. It's a pleasure to have you here. So we are going to talk about what the fashion group is all about, what we do, what kind of programs we have, what members. We are also looking for members. So we are going to tell our viewers what is our organization. And this is actually international organization. I just learned recently that Karen was one of the founders of fashion group internationally in Colombia, South America. So she's a good asset to us now because she brings with her all kind of experience, which is international experience. This is actually what the organization is all about. Well, welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, tell our viewers, I'm sure, what is Fashion Group is all about. And this is organization of professional women in beauty, fashion.
It is 6,000 members globally.
Wow, it's a big, impressive number.
It is. We are all over the globe in the fashion and related industries, including apparel, accessories, beauty, and home. Our membership locally is about 140 members.
It's a good, group for here.
It's very good.
Very good. And we are growing, I'm sure.
We're
we
always
are
growing, yes.
And also we are looking for new members too.
That's right. If you go onto the website, which is fgi.org, you can download membership information.
And this is, of course, a nonprofit organization,
Correct.
which is very important, to know. And we have some men, do we?
We do. We have a growing male membership in our
Yes, it used to be that
chapter.
we didn't have any men.
That's
Now we are accepting men. So if any of you men, you are there, that you are interested or you are connected in some kind of fashion business or advertising perhaps, we would love to have you. We have very interesting program, as Marta is going to tell us.
We have a lot of programs coming up in April, which include a interior design program with the Washington Design Center.
And this is always very interesting.
It's always very nice, and it's going to coincide with their spring show house. So we'll be in there early and be able to see it at the beginning of the preview.
So this is in April.
This is in April, early April. Later on, at the end of April, we're going to work with the Corcoran Gallery of Art and Bon Appetit magazine for a fun segment of the fashion and art of food and entertaining.
Of course, I was just talking the other day about the fashion and real estate, and of course there is a fashion in architecture, fashion in food, fashion in all, in combination with everything. So this is a sounds very interesting, exciting show. And you do lots of things, in cooperation with the gallery, Corcoran Gallery.
Yes, we've developed a nice relationship with them, which gives us a little more exposure as well.
Yes, sure. So this is good. What about you, Karen? How did you adjust here after Colombia in the fashion group? You found your way very easily, it looks like.
Well, to tell you the truth, for me the fashion group is the most wonderful group. And I can say that because I was the founder in Colombia, and when I
How many members did you have in Colombia?
In Colombia, no more than 45 members, actually. It's a small group, but it's the only one in South America.
It's probably a very active group there, too.
Yes.
So what happened when you left Colombia? And what happened? Did somebody took over?
Oh, yes. Yes, actually, the group is working very well. They have directors that came after me, taking care of everything.
So this is the only group in South America,
yes,
is that right?
That's amazing because, Colombia is not a big country and it's not very active in fashion, let's put it that way. And it's the only group in South America.
But I know the South American women are extremely fashionable. I was in South America. I was in Bogota and Santa Marta. They said, the most beautiful girls come from there.
Oh,
and also Cartagena. The fashion is very big there. So I'm not surprised that, you have so many active ladies there and you founded, the group. This is a perfect place, to have something like that. And then you came here, and then you are another asset to our organization because you are in the board now, working hard for all of us here, so we can enjoy all these beautiful programs.
Yes, and, for me, the fashion group here in Washington has been a wonderful opportunity to find my way in socializing because, it's difficult when you relocate to another country. don't know anybody.
Anybody, I know.
And here
I was in the
you
same
find like a
situation years
second home.
ago,
Yes,
too.
yes, that's
Because I
wonderful.
was a fashion group member for a long time, and I skipped a few years when I moved to Virginia. And I remember once when my daughter was a baby, I didn't have a babysitter. I brought her to one of our meetings, you know, because I wanted so badly, you know, to go. And now, you know, they have, you know, they're all active. There are many new people like Marta. We have a new blood and young blood here, so I'm sure it's going to be extremely exciting.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we had a nice Christmas party, a holiday party, which was very well attended. And that was a good way to, this is how I met Karen at that party. And, you know, it's a good way to find, you know, your friends and to socialize and to make yourself, you know, in the community, known in community.
And one thing which is very, very important is that the group gives you any kind of support. And that is what you need when you are away from home. That's very, very important.
That's right. And what do you think if somebody, for example, is interested to join, whom they should call, you know, for information? Who is a membership chair?
Our membership chair is Heather Hested,
Uh-huh.
and her information is on the website. Her
On the
telephone
website.
number.
Okay, can you repeat the website because it's very important.
Sure,
You know,
it's-
people can, you know, find out about
Right.
it.
It's www.fgi.org. There's a Washington, D.C. region on that website
Okay,
that'll
that's
give you all the
very,
information.
Very interesting. Well, you know, as you can see, this is a very exciting group of women and men. Now we have a man, and we do, you know, interesting things. We have a great meetings, meet each other, and help each other professionally. And it's a kind of networking also, you know, so we can really, you know, do lots of things for each other. Anything else most important you can tell us before we wrap up? Because unfortunately, we really don't have much time. But you know, I'm sure at this future dates, I would like you to have more of the information.
We will be planning a shopping fun event which highlights local designers,
Okay.
and that will be in late April or
Thank
early
you.
May.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you come today. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.